News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Coming up tonight, Rent Control Department to engage hostel operators nationwide as government moves to tackle rising tertiary education accommodation costs and enforce reforms.
And also coming up tonight, 2 families escaped death as mudslide destroys their apartment in Secondee's Paris Square community on Sunday evening.
And later in the bulletin, President John Mahama says the NDC-led administration is committed to implementing policies that seek to improve the quality of life for all Ghanaians.
Later in business news, the Africa Center for Energy Policy warns Ghana will miss its critical renewable energy targets without immediate coordination to fix fragmented and sluggish policy implementation.
On the foreign front, Guinea bans export of unrefined gold in an effort to promote domestic processing of the precious metal. We have details of these stories and more. Be a part of the show. Let's hear what you make of the many stories we have for you tonight.
We begin from the Greater Accra region, where residents at Ashali School Junction in the Adenta Municipal Assembly have expressed disappointment over what they describe as misleading information regarding the demolition of a 6-story building considered a danger to the public. Joseph Armstrong has the rest of the story.
This is not the first time the 6-story structure has attracted public attention. For years, concerns have been raised about the safety of the building, which authorities say poses a significant threat to the public. The building, which remains incomplete, has become a source of anxiety for many in the community who fear a possible collapse could lead to a major disaster. According to residents and traders operating close to the structure, officials from the Adenta Municipal Assembly announced on Tuesday, June 16, that the occupants and businesses within the immediate vicinity should temporarily to allow for the safe demolition of the building. Residents say they complied with the directive, expecting the demolition to take place over the weekend. However, they returned on Monday only to discover that no work had been carried out and the structure remained untouched.
Saturday, Sunday, you guys say we shouldn't work. We've been here the whole day. You guys didn't come.
They really scared. They were like, David told me that my shop is going down, so I should move from here. My life matters more, so I should pack and leave. That was what they said to me. So David, now we're still waiting, thinking they will come. So it means we are still not working.
All my children leave the house, go and sleep far away. They come back, they call us, they break the bridge. Me, I go to another house, go and sleep. We bag our tin, some of the tin. Now we don't hear anything again.
In response to the concerns, the Municipal Director of the National Disaster Management Organization explained that the demolition exercise had been postponed due to unforeseen circumstances.
The Regional Director for NADMO called that the National Security has taken it, and the National Security, in collaboration with the 48, they will come soon. But for now, it has been suspended until the National Security confirm when that particular date will be fixed for the demolition.
For a part, the municipal chief executive of the area assured residents and traders that a new date for the demolition will be communicated, insisting the owner of the building has no permits. She apologized for any inconvenience caused.
The assembly kept giving him warning to pull the building down or to stop work till proper procedures were followed, because we've had structural integrity tests and it wasn't fit for purpose. The issue was in court, and so we couldn't get the backing that we wanted, because they also wanted to be sure that they wouldn't be caught up in any legal issues.
Years after safety concerns about the 6-story building first emerged, residents say they are becoming increasingly worried about delays in its demolition.
Whilst the building continues to pose risk to motorists and residents, authorities say demolition plans are still being finalized. Currently, residents and hawkers, traders around have all vacated their business work area, waiting for the final day for the demolition. Joseph Armstrong, Gold Alibi, TV3, School Junction, Accra.
And still on a similar subject matter, 2 families narrowly escaped death after their apartment was destroyed by a devastating mudslide at Parisqua in Sekendi on Sunday evening. Abraham Mensah has been to the scene and reports.
One-story structure perched on an elevated slope at Parisqua began showing signs of structural weakness on Friday as heavy rains eroded the surrounding earth. Conditions deteriorated over the weekend, and at approximately 9 p.m. on Sunday, the building gave way entirely, swept downhill by the saturated mud into the valley below. According to preliminary reports, all occupants managed to evacuate the premises prior to the collapse, and no casualties have been recorded. Authorities have confirmed that no injuries or fatalities occurred. However, survivors are now grappling with the total loss of their property and personal effects, which remain trapped under the rubble. One affected resident who declined to appear on camera expressed deep frustration with the response from the National Disaster Management Organization. He alleged that despite a site assessment by NADMO officials, no relief items, including food, shelter, or clothing, have been provided to them.
We were all hoping that they would come to our rescue. Actually, when they came, since morning, we spent about 3-4 hours with them, and nothing better has come out. Later, if something has happened like this, one, we have kids. We've lost everything. Where to even prepare food is not there. So we thought that when you come, you are able to give us hope. You've taken us through a lot of talks and discussions here and there with empty stomach and our kids. And then later you tell us that, NADMO is not about sharing rice and those things. You understand? So I, for instance, I wasn't okay with them, so I left them. You see, they came in their numbers, but I think NADMO is going to help. This has already happened. I thought NADMO will come, those affected, at least they will have something for them. In the first place, they are human beings. You want to engage them. They have to eat. Nothing of that sort. We just came with the talking here and there, meetings here and there, took our data and everything, and now they've gone. What they told us, the only assurance they gave us was that they say it's a plan B. The plan B is coming from the minister. What is that plan B? It's exposed to us.
The site remains unstable, and authorities are advising residents in adjacent hillside areas to remain vigilant as seasonal rains continue to pose landslide risks across the western region. Further assessments are expected to determine whether additional structures in the vicinity are compromised. Abraham Mensah, TV3 News, Parisqua, Sekendi.
Away from the western region, as part of efforts to address rising accommodation costs in tertiary institutions, the Rent Control Department is set to begin a full-scale engagement with hostel operators across the country on July 1. The acting Rent Commissioner, Frederick Opoku, also outlined sweeping reforms and upcoming enforcement actions.
The Rent Control Department is preparing to move into a new phase of enforcement, targeting what it describes as unchecked increases in hostel accommodation costs. The department says it will meet hostel operators across the country on July 1, ahead of a broader regulatory push. Frederick Opoku is acting Rent Commissioner.
Rent Control Department, under my leadership, visited some hostels, right? And that we were believing that the rent laws of the Republic has been flouted left and center right. Landlords and property owners are constantly increasing rents with no reasonable cause. And that the law says that we should stop them. And that as part of their compliance, we are going to do a nationwide review. And I have even asked hostel operators to hold on with their pricing for us to engage. I'm happy to let you know that by July 1, next month, we are meeting hostels across the country, here in Accra, that we won't use any Rambo style, any rough tactics, but we will ensure that we will do diplomacy, strategy, and strategic means to engage the hostel operators.
He also outlined planned reforms expected to change how rent issues are handled.
We have created the legal enforcement and compliance units that will complement the effort of the rent task force very soon. Rent control has been strictly manual. The vision that I bring with the support of my team is to digitize rent control, which very soon in November, we will have the first annual rent conference to be held here in Accra live, that we are going to engage landlords, tenants, brokers, and all of them, policy makers, and everybody to be part of it. And you could see people who are even buying rent card are doing it online now. It means that we are going full digitized. Plans are far advanced. October, latest by November, we should see not less than about 2,000 rent task force deployed across the country.
The acting rent commissioner further revealed collaboration with key state institutions including security agencies and revenue authorities. But Frederick Opoku says enforcement will not be delayed, warning the sanctions will follow non-compliance.
I repeat, I reiterated number of that times, and let me take one more time to reiterate that no landlord in this country sitting at the comfort of a home to be increasing rent. The rent inspectors are going to be deployed, and that I've asked when I came. I said that I want to be law abiding. The ignorance of the law has never been an excuse, and it's not an excuse today.
He adds that a new phase of enforcement will soon begin with full digitization of rent systems and national registration of landlords.
And you'd recall that over the weekend there was an issue about a shooting incident involving the Church of Christ Asafo. Well, the Ministry of the Interior has waded into that matter and suspended the operating license of Kantanka Security Services Limited with immediate effect. The suspension follows reports that personnel of the company allegedly used unapproved uniforms and possessed and used firearms and ammunition while providing private security services at Kwabenya in Accra on Sunday, the 21st of June. Their incident reportedly resulted in injuries to former Dom Kwabenya MP Sarah Adjo-Asafo. According to the ministry, preliminary investigations point to possible breaches of the laws regulating private security organizations in Ghana.
In more news tonight, the Ghana Education Service says a committee will be formed to investigate reports of extravagant and flamboyant post-graduation ceremonies in some senior high schools following a ministerial directive imposing an immediate ban on the activities. The Ghana Education Service Director General, Professor Ernest Davis, described the trend as unacceptable culture that risks deepening social inequalities among students, warning that heads who fail to enforce the ban will face outright dismissals.
Graduating from school is a moment of pride, excitement and success for students after years of hard work, perseverance and sacrifice. But what should be a celebration of academic achievement is drifting towards display of family wealth, and the Ghana Education Service GES fears this could deepen social divisions among students.
Management is against the practice of such ostentatious displays by parents on school premises. This is not a kind of school culture the service and many Ghanaians support. Parents who want to do so can do so at home. All post-examination flamboyant celebrations and graduation ceremonies are banned until further notice. We don't want the situation where students will go home and ask parents why they couldn't give them cars.
This issue has raised questions over whether schools are losing their core values of discipline, modesty, and equal opportunity. GES will set up a committee to provide recommendations.
A committee will be formed to review all celebrations on school premises, including speech and prize-giving days, and come out with guidelines to ensure standardization. We haven't actually had a report involving private schools. But if we investigate and we see that it's widespread, we'll make sure that it doesn't become part of our school culture here at all. So we'll look into what the private schools are doing as well.
Heads of schools have been warned.
In other words, we want to change the situation. If they cannot change the situation will change them. I will remove them. I'll get somebody who can put the feet down.
Some have asked whether it is a moral or an ethical issue, or it is simply about poverty, or much ado about nothing. There are existing regulations that have not been implemented much, and some have blamed authorities for not implementing them, questioning the setup of a committee to probe the matter. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
And Safwa Boahene reports that while some have welcomed the move by the Ghana Education Service, others believe it goes too far.
For many students, graduating from senior high school is a major milestone worth celebrating and a proud moment for a lot of families. But should that celebration come with expensive cars, money or cash bouquets, extravagant display of wealth? Well, the Ghana Education Service does not think so. And with its recent clamping down and a ban on such displays in schools, there is an uproar amongst the public about this particular issue. So today, we are seeking the views of a cross-section of the public, especially Ghanaians, to know their thoughts and views about this.
I am totally against the display of extravagance or flamboyance on campus. It is happening because of the craze to trend on social media. So sometimes, for all you know, if you were to do some independent investigation to ascertain the veracity or otherwise of those gifts being given to or presented to those students, but sometimes just for show.
It puts a lot of things in the children's head, yes, and then I feel like it's not okay. When we celebrate them with money bouquets and flowers, that one is fine. But to the extent of buying them expensive cars, what are we teaching the children?
We create a standard for them. They will have to maintain that standard. These are the things that turn them into thieves, scammers, and robbers. It's not. We shouldn't encourage it.
President John Mahama says the NDC-led administration is committed to implementing policies that seek to improve the quality of life for all Ghanaians. Speaking at the second anniversary of the Rawlins Day, he underscored the impact of the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlins are still relevant in the current political dispensation. Samuel Yeboah Adams reports.
The National Democratic Congress marked the second anniversary of Rawlins Day with a renewed commitment to the ideals of its founder, former President Jerry John Rawlins. Party leaders, members, family and supporters gathered to celebrate the life and legacy of the former head of state and statesman whose influence, they say, continues to shape the party's philosophy and approach to governance. Speaking at the event, President Mahama noted that the principles championed by Rawlins remains relevant to national development. He stressed that his administration is committed to implementing policies aimed at improving the living conditions of Ghanaians.
We understand the challenges facing our nation, but we also recognize the immense potential that lies before us. And I believe that together we shall build a stronger and more prosperous Ghana. And so as we celebrate our history today, we must remember that unity remains our greatest strength. The successes we have achieved as a party over the years have always been rooted in our ability to place our collective interests above our individual ambitions.
The national chairman of the party, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, described Rawlins as a visionary leader whose values of accountability, discipline and social justice continue to inspire the party's direction.
There must be something that will connect this country to the works of President Jerry John Rawlins. And as it has been said by several philosophers, that a nation that does not honor its heroes is not worth dying for. So it is also true that a party or any organization that does not honor its heroes is also equally not worth dying for.
NDC General Secretary Fifi Fiavikwete urged party members to draw inspiration from Rawlings's dedication to public service and commitment to the welfare of ordinary Ghanaians. Speaking on behalf of the Rawlings family, Kimathi Rawlings said the family's hope is that the values of integrity, accountability and service that defined Jerry John Rawlings's life will continue to inspire both leaders and citizens.
By naming this headquarters after Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, the NDC has permanently inscribed his name into the very home of the ideals, sacrifices, and aspirations to which he devoted his life. The enduring recognition is not simply about honoring a man, it is about preserving and reaffirming the values that inspired a movement and helped shape a nation.
As part of effort to preserve his memory, the party unveiled a commemorative plaque and a bust in honor of its founder and called on party faithful to uphold the values that define Rawlings's public life and continue his vision for national progress. Samuel Yabua Adams, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's take you to the Ashanti region now, and some basic schools in Obuasi have benefited from the Telecel Ghana Codes program. This is an initiative to expose children to the knowledge of artificial intelligence.
With the evolution of technology, the world is moving to a different dimension. Artificial intelligence, the new order, has revolutionized the world of technology. For these kids, the Telecel Codes program provides a fertile ground to demonstrate their knowledge in AI. It also exposes them to embracing a technological advancement. Today, pupils showcase their robotic skills to the world. Anglo Gold Ashanti has donated a robotics center to enhance the Codes program. Executive Head, Ashanti and Brown and Halfo region for Telecel Ghana, Kweku Esiedu, explained why the telecommunications company is partnering Anglo Gold Ashanti to build the capacity of these kids in the area of artificial intelligence.
We know that the government, as a policy, has decided to train 1 million kids in coding. And this is more like our widow's mite to support this great agenda set by the company. So as a business, our target is to train 1,000 youth in Ashanti, in coding, in robotics, and Internet of Things. Well, it is not just going to be a one-off thing. It is going to be a continuous thing. So together with our partners, we intend to continue scaling up whatever we have started.
Gender Superintendent for Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi Mine, Mavis Nanayachi, said the robotics center at Obuasi Senior High Technical School set as a blueprint to enhancing AI and digital accessibility.
I think when it comes to robotics in Ghana, you can't talk about robotics without mentioning Obuasi. For that matter, Obuasi Senior High School, and that is the reason why we came in to support with this 6 million Ghana cedi infrastructure. So we are in the right direction by equipping these basic students with the right skills in making sure that artificial intelligence is key to their learning. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is part of their everyday learning.
You're still watching News 360. Stay with us. Business, sports, and entertainment news are right around the corner.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Pepsodent.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't.
The business news segment is brought to you by MTN. 4 points by Sheraton Accra Airport Hotel.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Now, the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, has warned that Ghana risks missing its renewable energy targets unless government agencies and stakeholders coordinate their efforts more effectively. Despite a range of policies designed to accelerate the country's transition to cleaner energy, concerns remain over slow implementation and fragmented institutional efforts. Targeting a 10% renewable energy share in its electricity generation mix by 2030 as part of efforts to diversify its energy sources, strengthen energy security, and reduce carbon emissions. Speaking at a forum on driving Ghana's green future, policy lead for minerals and mining policy at the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, Mabel Akwe, said stronger collaboration among state institutions, regulators, and industry players would be critical if the country is to achieve its clean energy ambitions.
We have institutions who are not even aware that they have roles to play in all these national energy transition policies, especially those at the local government level. That's why today you see people from the MMDAs, the municipalities, coming here so that they will understand and also appreciate energy. So that when we talk about energy transition, they will not see it as a Ministry of Energy thing.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Director for Nuclear and Alternative Energy at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, Dr. Robert Sogbaji, said government remained committed to meeting its renewable energy goals. He said several renewable energy projects are currently being rolled out across the country as part of efforts to increase renewable energy capacity and keep Ghana on track to meet its 2030 target.
10% renewable, that is modern renewable in our energy mix by 2030. And that's why we are implementing the Scaling Up Renewable Energy Program, where we are constructing mini grids in 35 island and lakeside communities. We are doing a 200 megawatts and 1,500 megawatt hour BSS, that is battery energy storage system.
Now, despite recording the sharpest reduction in policy rates on the African continent over the past year, Ghana remains among the countries with the highest lending rates, according to the African Development Bank's 2026 African Economic Outlook report. The report highlights that while the Bank of Ghana has aggressively eased monetary policy amid declining inflation, businesses and households continue to face relatively high borrowing costs.
According to the African Development Bank's 2026 African Economic Outlook, Ghana's policy rate currently stands at 14%, placing it alongside the Gambia and behind countries such as Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Malawi, Egypt, Angola, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. The report notes that Ghana reduced its policy rate by 9 percentage points between December 2024 and December 2025, making it one of 4 African countries to slash rates by 8 percentage points or more as inflationary pressures eased. The Bank of Ghana further lowered the monetary policy rate from 28% in early 2025 to 14% by May 2026, reflecting improving macroeconomic conditions and declining inflation. However, the AFDB says the cost of borrowing remains elevated. Data from the Bank of Ghana shows the average lending rate stood at 16.33% in April 2026, although this represents a decline from more than 20% at the beginning of the year. The central bank has maintained the policy rate at 14%, citing risks to inflation and growth, while pledging to closely monitor global geopolitical developments and their potential impact on the domestic economy.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Let's bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market.
Welcome to 4 Points by Sha.
as this one between Ghana and England, it could be the margins, such as set pieces, that could be the difference, given how strong the two teams have been from the dead ball in the past 12 months.
Of course, it's an achievement and everything like that, but when you're in a big tournament like this, you don't think about all those things, But like I said, I can only thank God, I can only thank my family, and thank the Ghanaians for their support as well. So, there's still more to come, and yeah, we keep going. We're in a tournament, and I'm not really focused about that. The most important thing for me is to focus on the team and make sure that we perform. Of course, set pieces are so important in the game now that it will be defined, like this game will be defined by little margins, fine margins, So at the end of the day, we need to focus on attacking set piece and defensive set piece, and we need to execute it as best as we can, and we'll see what happens.
And so here it goes. We're ready for the first ever competitive meeting between England and Ghana. It's one that many people are looking forward to. For Ghana, they've never lost a second group game in the World Cup. And for England, they've never lost against an African side. Definitely, one has to give when these two teams face off at the Boston Stadium on Tuesday. Ray Kwampofo reporting from Rhode Island, Bryant University for 3 Sports.
Ghana against England is tomorrow at 8 p.m. and will be live on TV3. But there's more action in the World Cup as tonight Senegal will come up against
Donko. Now, Charts Data recently celebrated its 10th anniversary by partnering with Apple Music to unveil the platform's 20 most streamed artists of all time. And not surprising, the list is dominated by American artists and global superstars who have defined mainstream music over the past 2 decades. The ranking reflects trends similar to Apple Music's list of top 100 most streamed songs released in 2025, highlighting the strong influence of hip-hop and contemporary pop on the platform since its launch in 2015. Now, Canadian rap superstar Drake is seen at the #1 spot. It's now time for some entertainment tidbits.
Long vacation, no makeup, just Jay-Z, you a boss.
SZA has spoken out after discovering that 238 of her songs were reportedly used to train AI music models. The Grammy-winning singer said some of the tracks listed in an AI music database appear to be unreleased, raising concerns about how artists' work is being accessed and used. The singer questions whether creators are receiving proper consent, credit, and compensation as AI becomes more common in the music industry. Her comments have reignited debates about artists' rights, ownership, and the use of copyrighted music to train artificial intelligence systems. The controversy comes as record labels and artists continue to challenge AI companies over the use of music without authorization.
Nobody gets me, you do.
Ghanaian dancehall star Stonebwoy has expressed heartfelt gratitude after performing at the prestigious Mawazine Festival in Rabat, describing the experience as unforgettable while proudly showcasing Ghana on the global stage. Taken to social media after his performance, Stonebwoy wrote, "From Accra to Rabat, Ghana well represented. Thank you, Mawazine, for the unforgettable memories, incredible energy, and warm hospitality." The Mawazine Festival, officially known as Mawazine Rhythms of the World, is an annual international music festival held in Rabat, Morocco. Drawing millions of visitors each year, it is widely regarded as the largest music festival in Africa and one of the biggest music events in the world. Stonebwoy's appearance at the festival further underscores the growing influence of Ghanaian music on the international scene as he continues to fly the nation's flag high across global platforms.
Stonebwoy is ready! I need some minutes in here!
Well, that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News360. My name is Noella Donko.
Thank you so much, Noella. On the international front, Guinea has banned the export of unrefined gold in an effort to promote domestic processing of the precious metal. The policy, effective immediately, comes after Guinea's president met industrial and artisanal gold producers and buyers and aims to boost the economy and create more jobs. Guinea is Africa's 6th largest gold producer. That's according to the World Gold Council.
And elsewhere, Andy Burnham has been sworn in as the Member of Parliament for Makerfield hours after Keir Starmer announced his resignation as Labour Party leader and Prime Minister of the UK. Burnham earlier said he would stand to replace the Prime Minister with backing from former Health Secretary Wes Streeton. Streeton, who quit Starmer's government last month, previously said he would contest any leadership race. Now, after being sworn in, Andy Burnham was met with whoops and cheers as he posed for pictures with about 200 Labour MPs.
And that's it for News 360. Thank you so much for your time. Tomorrow, just say a prayer for the Black Stars of Ghana tomorrow.
Yes, and following the resignation of Keir Starmer, it looks like England is totally capitulated and the Black Stars will even nail the
we will colonize England.
All the best to the Black Stars. And that's it for the bulletin. My name is Martin Esiedu Dati.
I am Portia Gabo. Do join Alpha Dukansa at 10 p.m. for Ghana tonight. Good evening.